Here, watch the rest of this, friends. This is very cool. I'm gonna show you guys the treehouse. Here's the treehouse. This is the new house. What's up, friends? This is the new house. Look at the treehouse. Look at the treehouse. Look at the treehouse. Oh, there's a treehouse. Oh, yeah, there's a treehouse. Look at that. Look at that little treehouse. Oh boy. Limp it home. Limp it home. Limp it home. Make it. Make it. Make it. Make it. Make it. Make it. Didn't make it. Hold on, let me turn this mic off. There it is. What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. That's the new house. That is the second tinywhoop battery that I've flown there. I flew the tinywhoop through there, the Cinesplorer. Actually, no, I flew the Tooth Fairy 2 through there. No, I didn't. I flew the analog Cinesplorer through there with the tall ducts. And that's over on Instagram. CiottiFPV on Instagram if you want to see a proper, not stabilized, but a proper HD fly through. And then I flew the first tinywhoop battery. You guys aren't gonna believe this shit. The first tinywhoop battery I flew through there was a 75 millimeter motor to motor. And I gotta be honest, with these like 25-foot ceilings or whatever the hell they are, 75 almost kind of maybe begins to make sense, but then it's impossible to fly down the hallways, so you're like stuck in that loft area and in the main area, and then if you want to go down any of the hallways, it's just like, well, here we go, maybe I'll make it, probably won't, because it's just too heavy. That there was the 65 millimeter, it's basically a Mobula 6 ELRS with the tinywhoop.com 0602, 0702 30,000 kV motors, Gemfan biblades, ELRS, and it's got 98% of the power that the big nasty 75 mil motor-to-motor rig has on 0803 T-motor, 22,000 kV on the big biblades. So yeah, 75 millimeter will be interesting to play around with at this house, but 65 for the win, for sure. This is my full-time job. If you like the content, want to see this continue and me be able to eat, head on over to CiottiFPV.com. Click all the buttons. Patreon helps me out the most. Buy yourself something nice on the Etsy store or on the Teespring page. Work together with me one-on-one on Fiverr. Save yourself months and months and months of learning, and save yourself thousands of dollars in buying the wrong parts. And then there's a bunch of affiliate links. Next time you're buying yourself something FPV related or buying anything on Amazon, think about your gangly friend and hit my affiliate links before you check out. It's free money, 1 to 6% of your entire shopping cart. FPV Cycle, Oh My God's website, FPV Crate, Get FPV, Banggood. I have a whole bunch of those affiliate links. Click them or else. That's it, or else. In the chat, Grizz FPV was first, breaking 3 motors in a day. That means you're flying hard enough. Michael D was next. Chopper FPV, Frank Nicholas, Fargo 252, Great Southern, Demo FPV, Nardog, Paul McDonald, Gamma Gonad, Left Step, Airwave Ant, Paul McDonald again, License to Drive, Great Southern, Borg, Tony Morgan, Tuner Taxi, Brandon Woodford, Paul McDonald. I'm going to leave it there. If you want the gangly man to read your name, you got to get in early. You got to say something in the chat. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, ding bang, bing bang bong. All you got to do is type CiottiFPV. You don't have to put in the @ in front of it, but you certainly can if that's your kind of thing, and that gets your rocks off. When you type CiottiFPV, or anybody's name for that matter, as long as you spell it right, as long as the spaces are in the correct positions, or if there are no spaces, don't put any spaces. It'll light up an orange, just like that for that person. Michael D says, what's up, CiottiFPV and Collective? Fargo says, about to watch CiottiFPV playing COD Mobile and putting batteries on storage. Very cool. Great Southern says, hey, yo. Demo FPV says, hey, Ciotti and Collective. Brandon Woodford says, hey, what's up? Great Southern says, I beg of you, where can I find a video on how to get Betaflight OSD on DJI? Here on YouTube, I would just search for like DJI OSD. There should be a whole bunch of videos. It's not great. Like it sucks. Like the Betaflight OSD on DJI is awful, and it's one of the reasons that I'm toying with the idea of completely bailing on DJI for freestyle. I flew the Rossi today, actually, with the Vista powered from the ESC pads, and just like a couple of the pro pilots that I talked to about this at Rampage, the freezes continue. So I don't know what those of you in chat are doing that claim to not have that problem. You know, I kind of fell on my sword and I was like, well, I guess I'm wrong and you guys are right. And I feel like maybe I didn't need to, because yeah, it continues. It's maybe not as bad, but it's still there and it's still very disorienting and I don't like it. And between that and the OSD, if I can't find a solution to one of those, I'm out. Analog is great. Maybe HDZero will be where I go for freestyle, but analog is fantastic. I've flown a bunch of batteries back to back between DJI and analog, and I don't fly any better in a freestyle setting with DJI. It doesn't really deliver me any extra information other than when I'm nose down going really fast. When I'm nose down going really, really fast, yeah, absolutely. You can see farther ahead with DJI. But typically, that's not normal freestyle, right? Like, you don't usually haul ass if you're flying freestyle, unless for some reason you've got a bunch of huge spots around you. We don't here in Atlanta. Our spots are much smaller and much more technical, and yeah, I'm just not seeing any improvement in my flying whatsoever when I'm on DJI. And to be really honest, that's all I care about. Like, I don't care about the flying experience being immersive. I don't care about any of the other advantages of DJI. All I care about is what's going to make me fly better on my freestyle rigs, and thus far, that's analog. I'm probably about 100 batteries into DJI. I would think that would be enough to kind of get used to it and start to see those benefits, but maybe not. So I'm going to keep going. You know, I'll do another 100 or 200 or 300 batteries to see if, I don't know, there's just something that I'm not seeing. But thus far, in my opinion, it is not the answer for freestyle rigs. And I'm starting to hear that from a lot of freestyle pilots, actually. So yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know what's going on. But I know that it's not just me with the freezing problem. Apparently nobody in the chat is having that problem. And when we initially talked about this after Rampage, I kind of said, like, you know, I guess maybe you guys aren't crashing as hard or often enough as myself and the pro pilots that I've talked to about this. And I caught a rash of shit about it. And a couple people got super pissed that I was not trusting them and that I was trusting, you know, some of my buddies that are professional pilots, and that made me feel terrible. And so I was like, hey, you know, I was wrong. I'm sure you guys are right. I'm gonna put the Vista onto the battery pads, and it sounds like the problem will go away, but it hasn't. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe you guys have magical Vistas, but I certainly don't, and a bunch of the folks that I've talked to certainly don't either. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what else to do. I guess the next thing you guys are going to want me to do is to take the Vista out and put a different Vista in. I don't really think I'm going to do that because I've talked to so many people that are having this problem, that I just don't find that to be a good use of my time. I apologize if you take that as like disrespectful, that I don't believe you guys, but I don't know. Time is a thing that I do not have right now. And so, yeah, I trust you guys. You guys are great. I love you all. But I've heard about this from enough people where I'm like, this is a thing. I really doubt that every single one of those people just doesn't know how to build. You know what I mean? I hope you guys understand that. I hope you guys don't take offense to this, but I'm sure somebody will because it's the internet. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Just a little update there. Gamma Gonad says, new digs. Yeah, my girlfriend Maggie bought that house, and I'm moving in at the end of July. Her and the kids are moving in like right now, between now and the end of June. So I'm spending most of my time there. The house is a little, it was kind of filthy. It wasn't filthy. Filthy is not the right word, but we've got like a weekend. We've had since we got the keys on Saturday, and we've got another like week or so before the actual move-in date. So Maggie and I are taking this opportunity to like just clean everything and just repair as much as we can. The people that live there, like, I don't know what their deal was. They were just fucking pounding screws in everywhere, and like they didn't really clean it really well. So there's just like it's like a house that's been sitting for like a year, not really being lived in. Like cobwebs everywhere, and like they made a bunch of really weird decisions. Like they sprayed this frosted shit on like most of the windows that I have to get that we have to get off with like I found this big long razor blade. It's like a glass and tile scraper at Home Depot, but it's just, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's just a big long razor blade. So I gotta fucking sit here with this goddamn thing on these windows and just this horrible frosting off. There's just, I don't know, man. These people were weird that lived in this place before us. So we're just de-weirding it. And there's a lot. And there's these big beautiful cabinets, and like the kitchen is gorgeous, but then there's like these, you know, chintzy like gold, like whatever dollar store knobs. And so like, yeah, we're making it ours and just cleaning fucking everything. Because it's a really cool opportunity to do that, right? Like when you just like move in, you have all your shit. It's like, well, I got to do something with all my shit. I'm not gonna clean this. Like, and then you move all your stuff around, and then you kind of clean a little bit. Right now, it's amazing because it's empty, so we can just like clean the shit out of everything and just de-weird it. So yeah, I must have removed 70, 80 just random screws from all over the place. The bedroom got painted this morning. Maggie's office got painted. Yeah, it's been nuts. But really, really fun stuff. You know, I haven't lived in a house in over 20 years. I've just been renting. Yeah, this is really cool to have a place that like is, you know, I don't know, it's just different, and it's great exercise, and my hands hurt like hell, and I'm sleep deprived, but I wouldn't have it any other way. This is, I'm having a blast. So there's a little life update for you. Blitz FPV says, how goes it? Long time no chat. Damn, yeah, Blitz, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Welcome back. Arazi B says, what's up, collective? Airwave Vant with $1 super chat. Thank you very much, Airwave. He wants to see the wild and wacky gangly FPV man continue. Thank you, brother. Gamma Gonad says, that's awesome. Love the new house. Dusty Joe says, love the house. Thank you, guys. Razzie says, so lit. Extremely happy for you, Gangly One. You're gonna love having that to fly daily. Congratulations. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's those tall ceilings are something else, man. You can really just lay into the throttle and then just jump off the throttle, and it'll just hang, man. It's pretty wild. And then those, I'd never done, I guess I'd never done orbits with the fan blades before, and like I never realized that you can, if you can do the orbit fast enough, you can stop the goddamn fan blades. I think we're gonna have to do a challenge. Can I perch on the fan blade while it's spinning? Can I get the orbit going and then tighten the orbit up and land on one of the blades? We're also going to be replacing that ceiling fan. It's just kind of like an ugly whatever ceiling fan. We're going to get a cool looking ceiling fan for the living room there, because everything else looks so cool. It's just like, then there's just this random, you know, like it's like a ceiling fan from like a vacation home, you know, like the cheapest one you could find. So yeah, that'll be cool. It's funny. We're in Maggie and I are in Home Depot, like looking at ceiling fans, and there's like 3-blade ones, there's 4-blade ones, there's 6-blade ones. I'm like, ooh, that one will be more efficient, but oh, that one will be quiet. It's such a fucking nerd, man. So yeah, I guess the 6-blade would be better because they're gonna spin slower, so that would make that trick a little bit easier. But who knows? We'll get the one that's the coolest looking. I'm not gonna buy hundreds of dollars of things that cost hundreds. Well, that's a stupid thing to say. I was about to say, I'm not gonna buy things that cost hundreds of dollars for flying, for tiny whooping. Too late. I'm not gonna buy house things based around tiny whooping. How about that? Bob Knox is in the house. He says, what's up, collective? What's up, gangly man? YouTube just did the thing. F you, YouTube, you dirty rat hoe. Jay Barnes says, what's up? What's up, Jay? Frank Nicholas dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, brother. Paulie Lee says, how you doing, my friend? Keep it up. I will. Great Southern says, so what you're saying is go with Fat Shark HD. I don't know. I haven't tried HDZero yet, so maybe I'll hate that too and just go right back to analog. There's an awful lot of freestyle pilots that are still on analog, and a whole bunch of them have tried DJI and HDZero. HDZero is a little different though, because, you know, every month it gets improved, so I don't know. Paulie Lee says, how you doing? Keep it up. Oh, wait, no, we got that. Tuner Taxi says HDZero for the win. Do it. I've had it. I've had HDZero for, Christ, probably about a year. FPV Exchange sent me the module and a VTX and a camera. And every time I go to put it in a quad, I'm like, wait, hold on. And I go on YouTube and I type in HDZero and I watch a couple of the most recent videos to check the quality and just, you know, what it looks like with whatever the newest update is. And every time I do that, I'm like, oh God, it looks awful. And like, and the biggest problem with it is there's just not a good VTX right now. You know, the 1 watt VTX is $100 fucking and just gigantic and heavy as hell. It's just, it's stupid. Like, it's not stupid, but it's stupid. And then the little VTXs are only 200 milliwatts, and that's, you know, I mean, that's like micro territory, but that's certainly not 5-inch freestyle territory. So, yeah, it's weird. Grizz FPV says, I crash hard, put them in water. I crash hard, put them in water, have yet for it to happen. Are you saying you haven't put one in the water yet? That's pretty rare, Jesus. John Goblin says, my Vista's freeze image when I hit the ground too hard. Can you add gummies under or over the Vista? Self-mounted a bit? I would be a little creeped out to do that. It's an interesting idea. So you wouldn't be able to add gummies because the mounting holes are M2. So what you would have to do is just put an M2 grommet or just an M2 rubber spacer under and above the Vista. And then what's going to happen is that's only going to allow it to move up and down. We need it to be able to move all around, right? Because like when we bang into stuff, like we're coming in at an angle, so we don't, like, that would probably help when you flat bottom down, or when you crash perfectly inverted. But most hits are at an angle, and it wouldn't really do anything for the angle because the Vista would just, you know, it would just bind up on the M2 screws with all the threads, right? And it wouldn't really move. We would need like an M2 to M1 grommet, and then we would need to run M1 hardware, and then that would just break. So it's a really interesting idea, John, but I don't think it would work. Now that I talk through this, what would actually work, and what a bunch of people do, is they mount the damn things with just VHB, and then they run zip ties through the 20x20 holes. Usually people do that so that they can use those zip ties through the 20x20 holes to hold their Crossfire Nano up on top. But yeah. And that creeps me out. It creeps me out to have that big heavy brick of a Vista only held down by VHB and zip ties. I feel like the zip ties would break fairly often. But if it's gonna stop this from happening, I don't know if it'll actually stop this from happening, but if you did like 4 layers of VHB, that would let that thing move around quite a bit. And then if you just don't crank the zip ties all the way down super hard, it would have a little bit of wiggle, and it would wiggle front, back, left, right, up, and down. So that's kind of interesting. That I am willing to do, because I know that a lot of folks are holding their Vistas on with VHB, and they're not having the Vistas rip out and fly, you know, across the field. So that's interesting. I'm just glad that there's somebody in chat whose Vistas freeze when they hit stuff hard. That makes me feel good. I thought chat was out to get me, or I just thought I was a total moron asshole that didn't know how to build or fly or live life. Paulie Lee says, I lost to DJI quads freezing on me. What's that mean, Paulie? Does that mean that you gave up on DJI? Great Southern says, I got freezing or frame stutter on my Hexplorer, and that's a new Vista running off of VBAT as well. What the fuck? Where were all you guys when I was getting crucified by chat that I was an idiot and that this, you know, it was because I was running it off the flight controller, and or what else? Airwave Ant, you put a space between Ciotti and FPV, so it didn't light up orange, but I just happened to see it. So next time, take that space out. Today I crashed far away and I lost video transmission on DJI. It came back as I got closer to the quad. Still not ideal for me, and I think about switching back to analog every day for 5-inch. Yeah, that's another thing. I've had that happen to me twice now, where DJI just gave up and just blanked completely out, and I had to literally drive towards the rig to get it. I had to drive because I was being lazy. I did push the range pretty far, but there was not a whole hell of a lot of warning either time. I've definitely felt like analog gives you a lot more warning when the video is starting to get bad. So yeah, it's I'm not happy with it. I'm definitely not happy with it at all. Layman Board says, you are flying 6S, right? Yep. Are you using the TVS diodes and caps? I'm not. In my builds, they don't fit, basically. I am using capacitors, though, giant 1000 UF capacitors. So, yeah, there's just nowhere to really easily put a TVS diode. And this is a brand new Vista, so yeah. Layman Board says, I remember a while back someone saying that some flight controller voltage regulators for the Vista can brown out. Yep, and that's basically what chat crucified me on a few weeks ago, because I was powering it off of the flight controller. So I ripped it all apart, rewired it, powered it off the battery pads, which are connected directly to a giant capacitor, and it might be a little bit better, maybe, but it's still doing it, and it did it. It actually did it the very first time I bumped into something. I was flying a school. I flew one battery at a school, and I was coming down, and I don't even know if the arm hit it. It might have just been the prop hitting it. I don't know, but I kind of bumped into one of the vertical pillars, and sure as shit, it gave me that like 1/8 of a second or 1/16 of a second freeze, and it just completely. I just don't. You know what I think it might be too. I think it also might be that the folks that don't see this happening might be closing their eyes when they hit stuff, because I did that for years. If I knew, like right before I knew I was going to hit something, I would just really quickly close my eyes, and eventually, after enough batteries, I got out of that. And I wonder if that's what's happening to people. I wonder if people that don't have this issue, to be honest, I think they're just not hitting shit hard enough or crashing often enough. But I wonder if it could also be that people are closing their eyes and then they can't see the damn thing stutter or freeze. But yeah, the really experienced pilots that I've talked to all say that it's an issue. Every single one of them. And, like I said earlier, I thought that was enough, but I pissed a couple people off in chat by not trusting them and trusting those folks, and I still kind of feel bad about it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Left Step with a $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, for help de-weirding the new place. Thank you, Left Step. Very cool. Left Step, I don't recognize your name. Welcome if you're new around here, or maybe if you've been lurking. Thanks for posting. Thanks a ton for the super chat. Very, very, very kind of you. Stay a while and listen. Frank, don't answer. What's that from? Who can call what that's from? What's that quote from? No one FPV says evening man. Nobody cheating. Nobody that's read Frank answer that before. No one says evening man. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, brother. Gardo Rotor's in that. God damn it, YouTube. Come on. It did the thing. Gardo Rotor. What's up, homie? $2 super chat. He says, for new razor blades for the Windows. Yeah, I was chewing through those like crazy too. Thank you. I will actually spend that money on more of these razor blades. No one FPV says, don't lie, you'll be putting things in that house in places nobody will ever have a reason to reach, all in the name of whooping it up. Yeah, for sure. I just don't want to I don't want to be like, yo, Maggie, we got to get this fan because it'll be really good for tiny whooping. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. What's cool about the 6-blade fans is they're fucking huge, and that living room is fucking huge. So it might be a real statement to have just a big fuck off 6-blade fan in there. I'm kind of digging it. I want to try to figure out some sort of like it has to be invisible. Like I'm not, like the aesthetics of this place are just fucking, oh, it's just so, like you walk in the front door, you're just like, oh shit. Like it's nuts. So like nothing that I'm gonna do for whooping or whatever can be like visible at all. But I want to try to figure out like you know, like the clothesline system where it's like a, you know, 2 pulleys and then I'm wondering if I can do something with that with fishing line, really high test fishing line across like the top. Again, it has to be invisible, so I'd have to use a tiny little pulley and like hide that bitch all the way up on the wall and just camouflage it because it's not visible. I know the fishing line will completely disappear. And then I wonder if I can put the other side of it up in the loft area and then have it so that I can put the tinywhoop.com cubes on it, and when I'm flying, just hover one of those cubes up in the middle of that area, and then have like a big gnarly like cube to try to do big power loops and Matty flip stuff through. But yeah, it's got to be anything I do up in that living room area has to be like completely invisible. Realistically, what I'll probably do is just keep buying these tiny whoop cubes, and you can tie them in a way that they stack really nice. So I'll probably just do that, get like a quad stack of them 4 high, because that'll be, I mean, they're big, you know, like they come up to like, each one of them like comes up to my waist. So then the next one would be like up to here and then up and then up. For like a big ass dive tower, and you just collapse them. They just turn from a cube to a big long line. So I would just be able to collapse them down and just like tuck them away somewhere. Realistically, that's probably what I'll do up in there. But I don't know. It's gonna get weird, man. And that treehouse is gonna get weird too. I'm not going to be flying in the backyard a lot because it's taken, Ivy has really taken it over. So if I crashed in that backyard, there's no, it's a walk of shame 100% of the time. So and the mosquitoes are pretty nasty. We got to get a handle on that backyard. It's going to be a lot of work. It's really overgrown. But there's some real like potential back there. I think it could be a hell of a little haven. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. This is gonna be real fun. Where are we at here? Kiz Bartlett with a 2-pound super chat. Thank you very much, Kiz. No comment. Just spreading the love. Thank you, brother. Tony Morgan with a $10 super chat. No comment. Just spreading the love. Thank you, Tony. Very cool of you. Kinetic says, I know Bubby does his air unit just with VHB and electrical tape. VHB is good stuff. Yeah, I have a ton of trust in VHB, but the Vista is awful heavy, and losing video is like a big no for me. Like losing video is not a thing that I'm gonna screw around with. So it's just weird, but I don't know. We'll see. If that, there's a lot of people running Vistas VHB'd. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Frank Nicholas says, you frequently use DJI and Vista interchangeable. DJI is not equal to Vista. Most of my DJI quads use full-size air units. Maybe be more specific. Air units don't even exist to me, to be honest. I don't understand them. They're way too big. They're way too heavy. You can't run them on 6S. Like, I'm probably not. I will probably not be more specific. When I say DJI, I just mean Vista, and I think pretty much everybody does. I don't know of many people that are using air units. So yeah, I probably won't be more specific. But hey, I might not be talking about DJI much anymore, unless I can figure out a problem to this. So yeah. Danzilla the Terrible with a really good comment. Wouldn't a wiggly Vista do naughty things to your gyro? It certainly wouldn't help, but what I will say is that I'm willing to bet that, so it would be putting a strange, let's just say a strange vibration into the base plate, and the base plate is hooked up to, I mean, the base plate is solidly connected to 605 grams worth of meat and cheese, right? So those vibrations from the Vista would get mass. There's something called mass damping. Basically, as you add mass, vibrations will come down in amplitude. So the Vista is a fat fuck, but compared to the rest of, compared to the 605 grams that the entire rig is, I'm willing to bet that it wouldn't show up even on a black box log. That's a great thought though, Dan. But yeah, I think I'm pretty sure the quad has enough mass, and the fact that it's gonna put those vibes only into the base plate, right? It's not putting those vibes directly into the PCB that the gyro sits on. But man, Dan, your head is in the right place. That's for goddamn sure. A man after my own heart. Layman Board says the only thing I can recommend it to add a TVS diode. I use the Rush Tank FPV ones. Yeah, if there was a spot to fit one of my builds, I would think about it, but there really isn't. And I don't know. I don't think that's the problem. I don't think power is the problem. I think the Vista itself doesn't like getting slammed into brick walls. And why would it? Would you like to be slammed? If you were a Vista, would you like it if I smashed you into a brick wall or a metal pole? No. I would freeze too. Fuck you. I'm giving you good video. You're banging me into shit? Son of a bitch. So, I get it. Michael D with a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, headed to bed. Have a good night, CiottiFPV and Collective. Michael D's been super generous lately. I wish he had something that we could send people to check out. But everybody just give him a pat on the back in the chat. I've asked him before if he's got like a channel somewhere that we can send people to. Thank you, Michael. Super kind. Chow FPV says, I constantly get the stutter when I hit something with a oomph with diodes. So there we go. With diodes, with 1000 UF 35 volt, with gummies, etc. Also, the occasional weird latency on a fresh pack requires a reboot. Ooh, I have not had that. Also, occasionally telemetry locking up. I guess Chow FPV is using the DJI transmitter. I am not. I'm using Crossfire. No one FPV says, I have a better idea for you. Embed magnets in the ceiling, then use those for attachment points for your whoop things. Oh, the only problem with that is the wood that ceiling is made of is like, it's gorgeous, but it's very like textured. And I wouldn't want to stick anything to it because I think it would like leave marks in it and maybe even like rip it apart. Because I don't know what the hell it is. I've never seen a wood like it, but it's beautiful. It's like very textured. It's like very it's very like delicate looking, like very fragile looking. But fuck, man, I love that idea. God, I love that idea. I guess to be nice to that wood, I guess I could do a little short piece of fishing wire, tuck it up in there non-destructively, and then hang the magnet down. And then oh, it's a fucking great idea, no one. No one also says, completely hidden attachment system, easily removed, and if you crash into anything supported with the magnets, they'll break cleanly from the attachment points. Yeah, I love that. I love that idea, that part of the idea too. The fact that if you hit something hard enough, it's just going to release, the magnet's just going to release. Paulie Lee says, I lost 2 quads already, freeze on me. One was a guy walking in front of me with his quad plugged in, and the other was flying and he plugged in his quad. Both times lost in the river. Jesus, Paulie Lee, that sucks, man. That's hard. Gunny P says, finally got a live stream. What's up, CiottiFPV? Glad you finally made it, Gunny. Stay a while and listen. I haven't seen anybody guess that yet. What the hell? What's that from? Tommy News says, what's up, man? The red rockets are nuts on my baby Nazgul. It hovers at 10% throttle. Yeah, you can fix that, Tommy. I really recommend a pretty serious throttle curve as well. At least like a 30 throttle curve. And then you just put your throttle your throttle value in your OSD, and then cruise around and keep an eye on that throttle number so that you can figure out what your normal cruising throttle percent is. Usually it's around 25, 30, 35%, and then that's what you set your center point at for your throttle curve. That'll make a huge difference. That's not gonna bring the hover point up very much, but it's gonna make it a lot less jumpy when you're cruising around. But yeah, they are nuts. They are a lot. No One FPV says, I'm using an air unit in my 7-inch Chimera. Yeah, I mean, I guess on a big rig, the extra weight doesn't matter. YouTube just did the thing again. God damn it. Frank Nicholas says, air unit equals original full-size DJI VTX RX. Vista equals air unit light, manufactured, sold by many sources. So my no blackout experience is 95% related to air unit, not the light Vista version. Very cool. Brandon's Baked Beans says, frustrated with DJI crash glitches again, tried disabling temperature protection in the goggles. That's interesting. It might already be disabled. I disabled it on all my rigs before the American Crit Cycling live stream event that I flew, and I've been slowly turning it back on. I'll have to look that up. That's a really good thought. Are you just pulling that out of your butt, Brandon, or is that like a known thing? Chow FPV says, using ELRS goggle telemetry freezes up occasionally. TX works fine. Goggle telemetry freezes up. Jesus. Left Step says it's from Diablo 1, and not all the Diablos, but yeah, Left Step got it. Great Southern also got it. Stay a while, listen from Diablo. They put, I think it's in 3 as well. It's definitely in 1. Who knows who it is though? Who knows the name of the character that says it? Anybody? I'll be pretty impressed by that. Frank, you're allowed to... Nah, I think you already know it, Frank. Frank's disqualified. I'm pretty sure Frank knows the character. Somebody else. Don't look it up. Great Southern, we got that. No One FPV says, if you use that magnet idea, let us know and show how you did it. Yeah, for sure I will. For sure I will. Deckard Kane, Great Southern got it. Frosty Worldwide got it as well. All right, friends, I forgot to mention what today's stream is. Not a super crazy topic. I just got home and I'm in like, house mode. Like my brain is just 99% of my brain is like, what else can we clean there? What else can, like, yeah, I'm just, I want to just get that place like super. I knew you knew it, Frank. Yeah, I'm just thinking about stuff to do and I'm also, I also want to make their moving in like not a nightmare. So like I'm thinking about like Sage's room and Felix's room and stuff like that, and like, where's this Calyx cube gonna go? Like, this makes sense in Sage's room, this makes sense in Felix's. So yeah, my brain is on that. So forgive me, I'm not in like full tilt FPV mode here tonight. But we are going to tear this Ripsqueak down and swap the goddamn flight controller this time. It's been having these weird yaw twitches, and I pulled it apart, and it was on an unknown ESC. It was a HackRC ESC that I've never used before, and it's on a known Talon flight controller. So I went, well, I'm gonna blame HackRC. And thinking that, yeah, it's just an unknown component, and I got it wrong. I put a SpeedX GS25 in, which is a known ESC, known to be good ESC. When I say known, I mean like known to be good to me. Like I've used it before, I've crashed the shit out of it. And yeah, I got it wrong. So it must be the gyro on the flight controller. So we'll pull this down, swap the flight controller out. And then I think at that point, nope, there's one more Ripsqueak that needs to go together. I might not, I don't know. I might take one of these and put them into the, into my frame that Ryan Harrell cut for me. But I don't think the camera's gonna fit, and that's gonna really piss me off. So I don't know what I don't want. I just need to dry fit. I have an extra run cam hybrid, so I'll just dry fit a run cam hybrid into that frame and take it from there. So the question becomes, which of these two builds, because there's two Ripsqueaks here that are not functioning. Which of these builds goes into my frame? That one over there, or this one over here? I guess that one over there, because it's more pulled apart. Yeah, that one over there. So we will do the flight controller swap on this tonight, and then that build will get torn down, and yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Cool. So yeah, we'll just get this repaired tonight, swap the flight controller, and then in the future, we'll pull that apart, and yeah. And I'm gonna do two builds. I'm gonna do one of my frames, the lighter weight one of my frames. I'm just gonna put regular old FPV in it, and then the heavier weight one of my frames is gonna get the RunCam hybrid heavier setup. So the heavy frame has the heavier weight camera and HD board, and the lighter weight frame will get the lighter weight, just straight up FPV cam. So chat just blew up. Let's get caught up here. Tommy New says, cool, it is touchy. What's touchy, Tommy? Dusty Joe says, kids on ladders holding gates, just an idea. No. Great Southern says, I'm guessing 0.001% of your brain is still thinking about the guy from Bardwell's chat asking about the Protect 25 or Protect 25R. Yeah, I tried to not time him out, but he just fucking kept asking, and I told him to stop asking, and then he just kept asking, and I was like, well, fuck you, and then after I timed him out, he never came back. So I don't like timing people out in other people's live streams, because it can potentially cause that person to just leave forever, right? And say, fuck you, Joshua Bardwell. You know, if Joshua had seen that happening and done the same thing as me, he would have timed him out as well. But yeah, I mean, I just, that's why I tell those of you that are mods in here, like, don't time people out, like, leave that to me. But yeah, I tried. I mean, he'd been asking that same question at least once a minute for like 20-30 minutes, so I'm sure all of chat had fucking had it. And it's only 300 seconds, you know, like, you can come right back. So I don't know, I don't feel bad about it. Stop asking. And like, not to mention that, like, multiple people in chat answered his question. So, you know. And I get that, you know, you want the person whose live stream it is to answer the question. But fucking Joshua's got 400 people in there, you know? Like, read the room, bro. Read the room! I could not find my place just now for the life of me. Grom Drone says, did you see the new Avatar HD camera and VTX for 155? Does that work with DJI goggles? It does not. I got to check it out at Rampage. I didn't get to fly it, but I did get to fondle it. And yeah, it is not reverse compatible, unfortunately. You have to get all new stuff. And I don't know. I just moved to DJI, so like I can't possibly imagine that I'll go to the V3 setup anytime soon, unless it fixes this problem. I mean, the first thing is that it, thus far, it does not look like you can output video from it without the OSD. And that's a deal breaker, because I've got these live flying gigs that I'm sending my goggle video directly into a TV truck. So if they don't figure that out, it's a hard pass for me. I have a feeling they'll figure that out. At that point, if I hear from a couple of my buddies that are having the DJI flashing, stuttering issues, that they've fixed it, that becomes a whole hell of a lot more compelling at that point. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Gunny P says, ever tried 4-inch arms on the Ripsqueak? I have not. The 3-inch arms are, I'm not going to say that they're fragile, because they're not fragile, but they are, I wish they were a little tiny bit stronger, and so the 4-inch arms would be like just off the cliff in terms of durability from my crazy standpoint. When I say my crazy standpoint, I crash constantly and really hard. So yeah, I have different requirements than most. So keep that in mind. But yeah, 4-inch is also a size that doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. There really isn't a proper payload. It makes sense for long range, micro long range, but that's about it. There's not a camera payload that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense for 4-inch. So yeah, not a whole lot of interest in the 4-inch arms. I've had them for a long time. Bill sent me. Man, I think Bill sent me a set of the Ripsqueak 4-inch arms before anybody, because he was like, yo, I snuck a prototype item in there. Let me know what you think. This was like a year ago, probably even longer than that. But yeah, they're not my thing. The regular 3-inch arms, if you use the right TPU on the standoffs, you can actually swing 3.5-inch props on. As evidenced by the 3.5-inch props that are currently on this one. These are the GemFan 3520s, and yeah, these clear just fine. You have to run TPU that has cutouts because the tip of the propeller gets hysterically close. So yeah, you can't have any TPU that is in the spots where the tips of the propellers are swinging. But yeah, that's not super hard to do. That TPU exists. And yeah, and then in between, it's like real close. But it never hits. It never hits. So it totally works on the 3.5s. Realistically, though, again, like 3-inch is the right size for a Ripsqueak. 3 or 2.5. The 3.5-inch, the Ripsqueak is a frame that's meant to be built light. Sub 250, realistically 240, 230, 220 all up weight. And at that weight, with the 3.5-inch props, it's just too floaty. 3-inch is the right size for the Ripsqueak. So yeah, the 3-inch arms with like a 1404, 1504, 1505, that's the combo. 1306 also works. That is the setup. And yeah, that's gonna, with a run cam hybrid in it, that's gonna put you like right at 240, 230, 250, depending on what battery you use. So yeah, that's the right setup. Also, when the Ripsqueak gets over 250 grams, you start breaking base plates. The base plates are very strong, but they're also very light. The frame is designed to be very light. So if you take a frame that's designed to be built light and you make it too heavy, it's gonna break, right? Like if you buy a Miata and you put an LS7 Corvette engine in it, it's gonna break. Like it's gonna twist the fucking thing in half. And you're going to have to add a whole bunch of weight in subframe bracing and strut tower bars and all kinds of other shit. So, yeah, that's always keep that in mind. Like, if you're buying a frame and there's a whole bunch of part suggestions, stay close. Stay close to those part suggestions. Don't always think that you know better than the person designing the frame. In some cases, that's true. Like Armatan's frames that they design, we all know better than them. Pretty much everybody in FPV knows better than them because they refuse to believe that the directionality of the carbon fiber strands is important. We all know that it is. So, I mean, in that case, sure, yeah, we all know better than them. But, so don't listen to any of their recommendations. But with every other frame, there's a pretty good chance that the frame designer has a good idea of what the build should be in order for that frame to be durable and fly properly and just perform really well. And if you go like way off the rails and you go to like a much bigger, heavier setup, you're gonna have a bad time. And you know, I see people do this, and then they fucking go on Facebook and bitch and moan that the frame designer's an asshole and the frame is garbage. It's like, no, you're an idiot. You built something that is completely outside the parameters of that frame. That's on you. So yeah, keep that in mind. Layman Board says, I'm pretty sure it's all __ thing to keep overheat protection off because it'll lower the signal of the VTX, especially after disarm, to keep the Vista from overheating. Interesting. So it sounds like I really do need to try this whatever the hell, overheat protection. Turn that off. Cool. Great Southern says, Bob Noxious, I was dying so hard at how raged CiottiFPV was. What's that on Joshua's stream at that person asking the same question over and over again? CMYK is in the house. What's up, homie? Bob Noxious says, restrained from Dan 636ing him. Yeah. Ramdongo says, is Ripsqueak going to restock? CiottiFPV just looked today. I have no idea. I messaged Bill weeks ago, and I have not heard back. I guess I can message him again. I typically don't like to, you know, hammer people over and over and over again that aren't responding. You know, as somebody that struggles with mental illness myself, yeah, that doesn't help. Like yeah, it doesn't help. It makes things considerably worse when you start to see people messaging you multiple times because, like, you feel like an asshole that you're not getting back to them from the first time, and then when they hit you again, you feel like even more of an asshole. So I don't know. Let me see how long it's been. All right. Well, the first message I sent him was like a friend kind of message. So I can do like a little bit of a businessy message to him. My chat. Restock. All right, cool. So that should be fine because it was like a friend message and now like a FPV-ish, businessy kind of message. Hey, look at this. I didn't know about this. Joshua Bardwell introduced me to this. I'm just gonna put this on and I'm just gonna shut up because there's nothing that I can say or do that will compare to how absolutely brilliant and just orgasmic this is. I'm gonna put the link in the chat real quick here. Don't click it. Let's watch this together. So there's the link in chat, so you can save it for later because you're gonna want it. But here we go. I hope you're sitting down. Hold on. Here you go. Oh wait, no, hold on. I gotta give you guys audio. I can't believe this. I'm just. This is just. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
Somebody stole your wallet.
Don't bother me. Now come on.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes. 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 I mean, like, like, I don't know. I mean, what, so, like, I mean, so that was back in 2015, right? So that was 7 years ago. Like, that had to have been a joke. His nose is bleeding at random in the middle of it. Someone stole his wallet. Like, what? That has to have been a joke. That has to have been a joke. The woman was like ribbed for his pleasure. That has to have been a joke. It has to have been a joke. It's on Walkera's actual channel. Let's see, how many subs Jesus, Walkera's channel has 8,000 subs. It has to have been a joke. It has to. I hope it wasn't. I hope they were deathly serious with that, but man. That is special. I gotta favorite that real quick here. I'm gonna give it the old thumbs up. I'm gonna save it in my favorites. And what else can I do? I guess that's all I can do. I mean, that's just... Tommy News says the throttle. Oh, yeah, the throttle's twitchy for sure. Yeah. Throttle curve will help a ton. Richard says, what's up? B-Man says, hey, yoop. Brandon's Baked Bean says, I just put everyone on hold when I get overwhelmed to catch up in the evening downtime. Ciotti, so don't feel bad. I say sorry about obnoxious. RX. Man. What the fuck? What is... Patrick Moran says, what are they advertising? I don't know. That woman, I guess, right? Fuck the quad. I mean, if I put goggles on and a woman molests me, I'm in. Take my money. Take it. See what I did there? Yeah, I mean, if that's how women acted towards us when they found out that we were FPV pilots, I'd be down. What the shit? I've never been more intrigued and confused at the same time in my entire life. And a little aroused. I'm just kidding. Or am I? B-Man says, yeah, because that's the way women look at you in goggles. Yeah. Oh boy, Gunny P says, tell him that the chat wants the extended HD version of the Ripsqueak. Please keep me from buying an AOS. AOS is a great frame. For sure, it's a great frame. Frank Nicholas says, did you see the bloody nose about midway through the video? Yeah, it's just there's the reason why I think it has to be fake is like the bloody nose, like the machine gun stuff. Like there's a bunch of moments where it's like there's no fucking way they did this on, like there's just, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. They do. It's just. I can't get over that. I cannot get over that fucking video. I can't. I'm gonna watch that every day of my life until the day that I die. It's not true. I want to build a. I want to build a digital picture frame that just has that video on loop. And I want to make it the size of the whole world so that everyone can see it. No one FPV says the only thing missing was her moaning and screaming loudly. Pretty much. Grizz FPV says I built one of those 6 years ago. Jesus. Did she come and give you a reach around while you were flying, Grizz? Did that come with the quad? Is that how it worked 6 years ago? 2015? I guess it was 7 years ago. Great Southern says I get the feeling that is aimed at the American market. That could be. That could be a deathly serious commercial of them like, we have to make an American commercial. What do we do? Oh, I got it. Nosebleed for like 3 seconds halfway through. Perfect. Miniguns. Perfect. Flares. Perfect. Woman raping a guy. Beautiful. Jenkins, you're president now. Ramzalko says, good April Fool's intro. Yeah, that would be the best April Fool's joke ever. License to Drive says, buy a cheap secondhand old tablet and put it in a picture frame. Yeah, I have one. I have a Gen 1 iPad that doesn't get used for anything. It'd be pretty easy. Just download it. Oh, actually, I have a, you old bastards will remember thinkgeek.com. They did an April Fool's joke. Speaking of April Fools, they did an April Fool's joke at one point a long time ago. They do this every year. They put up on their website a bunch of fake products. They just have somebody do 3D renders, and they put a bunch of wild, silly, fake products up on their website as an April Fool's joke. It's hysterical. They do a great job with it. And this one year, when the original iPad was out, the fake product was a arcade cabinet, tiny little arcade cabinet that the iPad dropped into, and you had old school buttons and joystick, and they put that up on their website, and shitloads of people pre-ordered it. And it was they got so many pre-orders for it that they were like, fuck, I guess we have to try to make this. So then they engineered it. Like, it was just 3D renders. They didn't think about it. They just like, whatever, it'll be funny. So then they engineered it, and they started selling it for a very short period of time. And I snagged one of them. So I have that little cabinet that this old school iPad drops right into. So I'll probably do it on there. I'll probably put the, usually I haven't had it set up. It's just in a box, but in this basement at the house, there's tons of room. So I can pretty easily find a little spot. You know what? I'll probably put that damn thing on like one of these Kallaxes that you guys can see in the stream, because it's cool looking. It says iCade on the side. It's really nice, really well made. Grizz says, I wish. Random FPV says, reach around, you offering? No, never. Apache says, good morning, friend. What's up, collective? Oh man, Apache, you should go back about 10 minutes. There's a real surprise waiting for you here in the stream. All right, let's play with Ripsqueaks. Let's play with our Ripsqueak. We're going to swap the flight controller out of this. Probably not going to be able to get it done here. But you never know. You never know. Hell could freeze over during the stream, and Maybe we'll get something done for a change. Anything's possible. You know what I mean? I could do something with some white wire. Figure out a spot to store this in. Get over there. Just in case you missed it, the Razorback got finished up last week. Look at this beautiful bastard. White LED race wires, white wires all the way up to the ESC. The blue in the back for the engine, you know, in the Expanse, all the engines burn blue. Came out really good. I haven't flown it yet. Well, I mean, I've flown it on this setup. I didn't change it. I've flown it on this same setup, just with different race wires, but that's not going to make it fly any different. So, I've flown this rig a bunch. I want to use that rig some more. Ah, the Annoyatron, yeah, Frank. I always wanted to buy one of those Annoyatrons, but for some reason I never did. I used to just like putting tape. Back in those days, were the days of ball mouses, and I used to always just put tape over the bottom of people's ball mice to fuck with them at the office. Insert reach around joke here, indeed. Where'd that titanium screw go? There it is. All right, let's get to business here. We gotta swap this flight controller. And I have a feeling I might have to pull the camera to make that happen. Maybe not. Let's just... I get kind of nervous with these MIPI connectors that they're gonna, like... I don't know, they seem so fucking fragile, but... I don't know. It's already unplugged. I usually try to not unplug the MIPI connectors because they just kind of freak me out. But... whatever. BQE says, the video is like a time capsule back to 2015. Even the emotions and the guttural grunting is everything FPV was and still is, just a little more PG nowadays. The grunting is just, Gunny P is a fan of Amos. Ken Heron's in the house. What's up, Ken? Hey, Ken, here you go. I'm not going to make you rewind the stream to watch this, but do yourself a favor, Ken. Click that link. We just watched that video, and I gave a live reaction to it. If you haven't seen that video, even if you have seen that video, just watch it again. It's absolute internet gold. Ken Heron with a $10 super chat. He says, "Howdy, fellas. You're all invited to Mindfield August 20th with a link to it." Awesome, brother. August 20th. June, July, August. Very cool. Thanks for swinging by, brother. Kevin Smith says, "Bardwell was laughing so hard I thought I was going to have a CiottiFPV BattleBot moment." Yeah, it was close. Gunny FPV is a fan of Amos. Amos is a really interesting character. His character development is very cool. Really cool to see, like like the knuckle dragger meathead character actually kind of start feeling and just, yeah, I don't know. It was the actor that played Amos is a really cool dude too. Adam Savage's YouTube channel Tested did a bunch of Expanse content back when the show was still on the air, and he interviewed Amos in the one, I forget the actor's name, and he just seemed like a really, really cool dude. Just a really, not at all like his character in there. See, that was pretty neat. Man, these, I must have Loctited these because they do not want to budge. I hate to do this. So, for the record, if you're going to mount your RunCam Hybrid 20x20 board on the top of the stack like this, be really careful if you're using needle nose pliers like this, because they put components all up on the 20x20 holes, and it is really easy to knock one of the components off. I've done it twice. I have broken 2 of these boards by doing exactly what I'm doing right now with needle nose pliers and just turning and just knocking a capacitor right off the fucking corner of these things. So be incredibly careful. Take your time, go slow, and just make sure that you're always grabbing your nuts towards the top, my friends. That's life advice that'll just keep on giving. There's a chance that Wednesday's stream might get canceled. I've got a gig that starts at noon, and it's a day rate gig, so they've got me for up to 10 hours. I doubt that it'll go that late, but yeah, just so you guys know, there's a chance that Wednesday night stream might not happen. I'm not going to schedule the stream in advance. I will schedule the stream whenever I get home from that gig, because I don't want to schedule it and have you guys waiting and then I don't show up. I've never done that little trick that I just did there to get these nuts, but again, I would not recommend it because I'm just being impatient. So this is how you want to do it. Do it on its side, and then you can get more of a rotation. Great Southern says, and there it is, the reach around joke. Yeah, always. Jokes forever. What's up, Abraham? All right, so HD board is out, and I would love to replace this flight controller with the exact same one, but if it's like a Talon F4, I might not have an extra. The reason why I would love to replace it with the same one is I usually keep my wire runs pretty short, and there's a chance if I have to go from like an F4 to an F7 that the wire runs won't line up. The wire runs won't be long enough, and I'll have to start rewiring shit, which is always a huge pain in the ass. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here in a minute. GrizzFPV says, yeah, the motor I lost on Ripsqueak lost a belt. Jesus. Was it another one of those 1505s? Are those 1505s still slipping shafts on you, Grizz, or was that a like a one-time thing? All right, cool. So now we've got your best bet with the stack here is to use nylock nuts and buy yourself a little 4mm driver like this Weeha. And then you can't really knock any components off because it's a smooth, it's a smooth boy. My allergies have been kicking my ass. It was a Toka 1505. Great! So is that just two? I remember you sent me the picture of the one, Grizz. Is this the second Toka 1505 that shit the bed, or is this the 10th? I've not had a problem with the Toka 1505s, but then again, I don't fly that rig all that often, so there's probably only 20 or 30 batteries through them. Winded bottle spraying, what the hell's that? What does that mean? What do those words mean when together? Okay, here we go. Let's unplug the flight controller to ESC cable here. All right, good to go. Come on. Yeah, these wire runs are real short, and this is an F4, isn't it? Let's check. And this is like the F4 V1. Yeah, F405. All right, so let me check the stash. There's a chance I have another one. I doubt it though. Shitters. This could be very annoying. What about this other Ripsqueak that I'm gonna rip all the hell way apart? Is the ooh. That's the one, isn't it? That's an F4, isn't it? Ooh, it is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, God. I mean, it is put together. All right, if I don't have an extra, I think I'm gonna take it out of here, because this rig is gonna get torn all the way down to get put into my frame. So it's not really all that much extra work. GrizzFPV says all 4 slipped shafts, pushed them back in, then slapped the tree yesterday and the bell was gone. Ah, okay. Wow, all 4 slipped the cheese. That's brutal. All right, well, all I can really do is not recommend Toka 1505s anymore. I feel terrible that you're having that experience, brother. I like to really test the shit out of stuff until it's like almost on fire, but sometimes it's just unrealistic to kind of do that. Balls. All right, so I don't have an extra F4 in here. Let me go check on the kitchen table. I have a whole bunch of builds lined up out there. Hang on a second, guys. I hate to do this, but I would rather not have to rip that rig all the way down. Hang on. Be right back. Wait, here. Watch me tiny whoop the house again. Oh, wait, no. Here's something else. Here's another good quality tiny whooping session. Maybe. What am I flying in this? Oh God, take it easy. Hey, this is me ripping around with the. This is me flying terrible. Here's the house. Here's a little house tour for you guys. Where's OBS? OBS, where'd you go? Monitor. Zoom. What's happening here? There it is. Here's the new house. Enjoy no audio whatsoever. Play, motherfucker! Alright, I'll be back. I'll be right back. Oh, the mic's on, right? Yeah. So this is the new house, yo. Master bedroom there. Oh, getting in them little stools. Get it. This is a little loft area. We don't know what to do with it yet. I blew up the air mattress because it's got a little pinhole in it. I gotta try to find the pinhole. Little backyard. 2-car garage. The motor in that left garage door opener there. The garage door that's closed. I think the motor's blown up in it. So that's kind of annoying, but I don't think that'll be much. So this is going to be Studio 3 and the little home theater area as well. And yeah, that's about it. That's the hoose. I'm not going to tear this apart. I'm going to, if I need to rewire this, I'll rewire it. Oh man, I really don't want to fucking have to rewire this. Let's see if I can get this F7 to work here. This is an MPU6000 F7. See if I can get this to work. All right. So what are we doing? I've got. So the potential problem, the shortest wire run is to the RunCam Nano. Okay, so all I have to do is mount this F7 so that the Crossfire pads are towards the back, and I'll be completely fine. This is enough. If you guys want more of this, I played it at the beginning of the stream. There we go. All right, cool. GrizzFPV says, I hate they perform perfectly and I had the tune locked in on 4.3 stable. Yeah, Grizz, I gotta be honest though, the Zing 1504s, yes, they have a little bit less power, but I kind of like it better with less power. Like, those 1505s are insane, but they bring a 3-inch rig to the point where, like, it's kind of too much. It's a little bit too much, right? Like, with a 3-inch rig, you want to be flying smaller. So in some cases, the less power, the better. And that's kind of where I'm at with it, I think. I think those Toka 1505s, they're way fun. Way, way, way fun, don't get me wrong. But they make me start doing, like, big 5-inch moves. And that's not what 3-inch rigs are for, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. By John says, is y'all Twitch almost always bum FC, or do you have other things you do to troubleshoot it? I have a pretty fresh glide build that is switching on me. Yeah, more often than not, it's the gyro failing. But that is absolutely not. It absolutely can be the ESC as well. But more often than not, it is the flight controller. But there's a lot of troubleshoots that you want to go through first before just swapping the flight controller out. You got to make sure none of your motor screws are touching the windings. You got to make sure that nothing's banging into the flight controller. Even like a wire, you can't have a wire that's resting up against the flight controller. You gotta make sure your motors aren't banged up. You gotta make sure you have clean motors on there. Yeah, there's a lot, but typically, if you've checked all that stuff, then almost always it's a flight controller. But it could absolutely be the ESC. One of the... Now, with yaw twitches, it's hard. Like, with arm drops, it's easier to diagnose, but with yaw twitches, it's almost impossible to diagnose. Because, like, switching a motor from the front to the back, you can't tell the difference. Like, a yaw twitch is a yaw twitch. Like, it just... You can't even really tell the directionality of it. So it's tough. Paul McDonald says, congratulations, it's so awesome to see how positive things are going for you. Man, you deserve it. Thank you, brother. It's been a lot of positive shit this year. A lot of it surrounding the three beautiful people that are now a huge part of my life. And yeah, I'm a really, really, really lucky guy. And yeah, I'm going to just keep showing up, keep doing work, and... yeah, excited to see where things take me. So this is gonna be interesting. Well, hey, I got a T4 and an R4 over here, and a ground and a 5-volt pad. I wonder if these wires are long enough. I bet you they are. I bet you they're long enough to reach these 4 pads. But I also have a shitload of pads down here, but they're not silkscreen. So let me try to find a wiring diagram for this. This is an F7, but this might be like the weird V1 F7. GrizzFPV limited his down to 90%. Yeah, man, they're a lot, right? At 100%, they're a fucking lot. Abraham says, unfortunately, the Wi-Fi out here in the woods is garbage. Bail for a night. Catch you later. See how you stay safe, y'all. Thanks for hanging, neighbor. Bob Noxious says, if you can time that orbit and land on the fan blade, yeah, that would be impressive. Can you do that, Kiz Bartlett? Curious if, because you're really good too. Bob, we were actually, I was talking about that earlier. We're going to replace that ceiling fan. And I think we might end up getting one of the bigger ceiling fans, and the bigger ceiling fans, a couple of them that are cool looking, are 6-blade. So the 6 blades would spin slower. I had a really hard time keeping up with. I didn't want to like really roll it over, because then it gets disorienting. And I was having a hard time keeping up with the fan blades. So a bigger fan with 6 blades would help that. But yeah, that's the plan. The plan is to try to sync up that orbit, and then perch on one of the fan blades. And then what'll be cool is when I disarm, it'll throw me off, and then I'll have to rearm it. All right, so let's try to find a pinout for this flight controller here. We got a Talon F7 wiring. So let me just check this first, because this might be the regular F7. I don't think it is. Oh, it is! This is the regular F7 V2. Let me just double check. Oh, awesome, it is. Okay, great. Great. Oh, please don't be all jacked up. Please don't be all... Ah, good. All right, cool. Their website works. So, where's my pinout? Here it is. Cool. Bottom of the board. Yeah, there we go. Ground 5 volt. Here we go. Ground 5 volt RX6 TX6. Perfect. That's where I'll hook the Crossfire up to, and then nothing else really matters. That was the other wire runs in this build are long enough to reach the front if they have to. Okay, so let me do that first. I'm gonna knock out the Crossfire wiring first. Beautiful. Oh! Okay. Soldering iron coming on. Little fan being turned on. And I think I can do it all from this side. Soldering iron coming in. This won't be in the way. Yeah. Okay. So... there's a Crossfire, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, cool. So on this Crossfire, yellow is all the way on the outside. Okay. I love using through holes, but then when you have to take shit apart and you've used the through holes, it really sucks a bag of donkeys. But we shall prevail. I might be able to sneak the tip of the soldering iron in there. Let's find out. Hey, Kim and Gardo, you guys still in here? I got a flux pen suggestion for you. If you are. Alright, so let's just see if this green wire will just... Yeah! Fuck. That was so easy. Get out of there. Get out of there. Damn it. Why couldn't lightning strike twice? Come on, get out. Get out. Get out of there. Damn it. I should be able to get it. See if I can do this without burning myself. Come on. Come on. There it is. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, cool. And one more, which is the ground, which is, of course, going to be the biggest pain in the ass. Let go. Let go. Now I'm going to have to do this from the other side. The ground is, of course, going to be a bit of a nightmare. Let's put tweezers on this side. Great. And it should be this last one here. Okay. Come on, little buddy. Come out of there. On there. Come on. Get hot, you bastard. Let's put some flux on it. We'll be good. Hey Gardo, look here. This is my preferred flux pen. SRA. You can get them on Amazon. You don't have to get VOC free, but VOC free works totally fine. Yeah, I've tried a couple different flux pens, and this one's the best. All right. That should transfer heat. Jesus, what's going on? Get medieval on this shit. There we go. Come on, heat transfer. What are you doing? Get up in there. These Talon boards have serious grounds. They're great boards. I mean, they're not indestructible, though. I've broken a shitload of these, but they're really good, especially for the price. They're hard to get now, though. I've got the wire like sticking up out of this through hole, and I'm not able to get a good contact patch between the tip of the soldering iron, so it's just refusing to transfer the heat. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Yes. All right. Woo. Let's struggle. All right, cool. So there's the Crossfire Nano. Let me really quickly take a look at where the Crossfire Nano is going to go. Terminal Insanity says, have you ever overheated something and burned it out while soldering? I have not, Terminal. You have to really get shit hot to ruin it. These boards are incredibly durable in terms of heat. Gregory FPV says, running an F1 board, it's still working just fine, but considering upgrade, what are the main differences between F1, F4, F7? How much different do they fly? Which would you recommend? You probably won't be able to tell the difference in the air. The main thing is that you can just turn more shit on in Betaflight with F4, and then even more with F7. There's not much of a price difference between F4 and F7, so in my opinion, it's worth it to go F7. So yeah, do that, but it's not going to fly very different. Don't get your hopes up that it's going to fly much different. It's pretty subtle. Okay, so which pads am I using? These ones on this side. And I'm going to go ground 5-volt RXTX. Yeah, all right, cool. So let's flux them. What are those two pads up? They don't even have those they don't even have those called out. There's two pads on here that they don't even tell you in the wiring diagram what they're for. That's kind of wild. Okay, here we go. Gardo, what you building, bro? What happened? Where'd those pads go? There they are. There's a huge ball of solder on here. Use that first. Come on, give me some flux. Yeah, we're good. Okay, those are the 4 pads we're going to use on here. Gyro flux. FAMG, so if anyone has a DJI Air unit, does it lose signal when landing hard? That I don't know. So, okay. Man, I hate doing it. I hate working, switching flight controllers like this while the rig is all put together. It's such a fucking pain in the ass, but I'm not gonna rip this thing all the way down, so we're just gonna have to muddle through. Yellow, then green, yellow. Come on. I'm trying to get these untangled a little bit here. There we go, that's better. And so we got black, red. So what are we doing? We got ground first. Okay. So let's try to put it here. I like to do this. I'll put the flight controller on like just 2 holes like this, and that'll kind of hold it off to the side. Like that. And then you can solder to it, and you're not soldering over top of the ESC. So in theory, you won't drop solder balls into the ESC. Doesn't always work, but every once in a while. Chat. The outside pad on the Crossfire Nano. All right, on one side, the outside pad is ground. On the other side, the very outside pad, do I put that onto the TX on the flight controller or the RX? I don't feel like looking it up. And I'll bet you somebody knows offhand. Let's see how many conflicting answers we get. Outside pad of the Crossfire Nano, does it go to TX or RX on the flight controller? I don't know what that outside pad is. I don't know if it's considered TX or RX. On the wiring diagram on Heli Nation, they claim that outside pad is TX. T for transmit. But I have a funny feeling that they're wrong. But what do I know? I just work here. All right. We've got power. Ah, balls. Come on. Why are you fighting me like this, bro? Be cool. Be cool, man. Be cool. Why does that look so bad? What's happening here? Oh, I see. The wires are just kind of fraying out a little bit. Let's get some more flux on these pads. Make my life a little easier. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Oh god, that's gonna be nice. I'm actually gonna rework that first pad. Oh shit. Stuff just went everywhere. Alright, let me rework that first one and then I'll fix that second one. And then we can move on. Rework the first. Fix the second, I think. Let's take a look. Ah, yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see if there's a consensus in the chat. No one FPV says ground 5 volt channel 1, channel 2. Okay, so we're thinking it goes to it looks like it goes to TX. No one FPV appears to be the only one that's answered. Oh no. Oh wow, I gotta scroll up a little bit. All right, so no one FPV is saying that it goes to the TX on the flight controller. Let's see what everybody else says. Grizz says TX. Looks like Grizz is the only one, the only other one that jumped in. So 2 people. Good, good. And it looks like no one FPV had it wrong at first and then corrected himself. So, okay. So that on this Crossfire Nano, that's yellow. So yellow is going to TX. That actually makes sense. I will try to do that. I'll try to run yellow to TX because Y and T are really close to, oh God, are really close together. So the TX pad on this is the last one. Okay, that also makes sense because these 4 pads are set up perfectly for the way that the Crossfire Nano is wired. So yeah, we're gonna go green next and then yellow. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna send Grizz and No One FPV a bill for my time. Shit, I'm gonna blame the shit out of you guys. I'm gonna change the title of the stream to Grizz and No One FPV are the reason that this rig didn't get finished. It's definitely not because I talk too much. Alright, we got a little green action, and now we're going in with some yellow. Do yourself a favor, make sure that you're putting your Crossfire Nanos on even numbered UARTs. There's a weird DFU problem that doesn't happen often, but usually you've got plenty of UARTs to choose from. Choose an even numbered UART for anything that's powered by USB. So Crossfire Nano, for example. Basically, sometimes odd numbered UARTs, when you plug into USB and try to go into DFU mode, they will prevent the flight controller from going into DFU mode. It's very annoying. It's a quick fix, but very annoying. I gotta rework the green one. It's sitting up on the pad all stupid like. Gotta get a little flatter. There we go. That's the stuff. Okay, that should be good. Let's take a quick look, and yep, that's looking fine. Kevin Sumner says, just looked at a couple wiring diagrams. Flight controller TX on the outside of the Nano. I agree with Grizz. Okay, good. Grizz says I do use Tracer. I could be wrong. Kiz Bartlett says, with that Bill's turning into Rick from Rick and Morty. Yeah. Shit. Alright, cool. So we're wired up on the Crossfire side of the world. What else do we have here? We've got double grounds on the same pad for the camera and the VTX. And then the VTX is going to need 5 volt. VTX is not powered by USB, so you don't have to worry about that. You can put the VTX on, I'm not going to say any pads, but, you know, even or oddly numbered. Although, you want to try to get the VTX onto pads that are literally not going to be powered from USB. That's actually a good. Let me try this out real quick. Let me see if these pads are. I prefer my Crossfire to be powered from USB. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're good. Wait, are we? Yeah, we're good. Okay, so the pads that I put it on are powered by USB. That's good to know. Okay, so let me give this a little twist, just because these I straightened these wires out, but they're very short, so I'm gonna twist them up. That should be enough. Just a little bit to get a little bit of the length out of them. Keep them all together. Make sure this ground wire doesn't make a loop around itself. That can cause interference, video noise, and shit. Yeah, come on now. Don't do this. Not like this. That video cable's so fucking long. Well, once it's over here, it'll be a little bit better. Alright, that's fine. So, what do we got up on top here? Next to the bind button, let me look on that wiring diagram. Okay, so we've got camera, cam plus, minus, cam signal, TX3, RX3. Alright. I think maybe I'll use those, or maybe I can send it. Yeah, I'll send it to the front. Ooh, what do I have these pads jumped? I have these pads jumped to 5 volt. Okay, no, so I'm going to run the, well, shit. Should I run this thing right side up or upside down? Right side up. The plug header is facing downwards. Upside down the USB. Nah, I'm going to run this right side up because this USB port will conflict with the battery wires. So it's going to live just like this. So I think the VTX wires are going to come up over top, and I'll send them off these pads here. That'll make sure that when you get your power from the VTX pads, even if you have it jumped to 5 volt, typically it's not going to be a pad that's driven when the USB is plugged in. So that's a pretty safe bet, is to power the VTX from the VTX power pads. Just make sure that if it's a 5 volt VTX, it's not a VBAT power pad that you're putting it on, because it'll blow that shit right the hell up. Gunny says right side down. Alright, cool. Let's get some flux on these. We'll desolder them, zap them on over, and then I think I'll wrap this stream up. I need a minute to kind of relax on the couch here tonight. This has been a crazy couple of days. My hands are really hurting me. Like everything I'm doing is you know, like Phillips head screwdrivers, taking a million screws out of the wall, sanding. Like it's my hands are just taking a fucking beating. And I have this gig on Wednesday, so tomorrow is going to be a pretty low-key day for me to get ready for that gig. It's weird to like. It's weird to think about, but like FPV relies on your hands being like functioning really, really well. So like you gotta not be careful, but like you gotta be smart. Alright, I think there's only one more wire connected to this thing. No, there's 2. But I can do those last. Yeah, I can do those last. Alright, so let's hook this let's hook this VTX up next. And I got like 1 turn in these wires, and then they're gonna run up over. So let me get another turn or 2 on these guys. What is it? Red. Whatever. Usually I try to keep them in order so that the little wire bundle is as even as possible, but it's kind of hard to do that in this case. So, all right, this is fine. So these are going to come up in the front here. And how the hell am I gonna... I got mad shit in the way. Oh, cool. I'll use this cable to boost the flight controller up like that. Yeah, that should work. I should be able to make that work. Okay, so what do we got? VTX signal out, then VTX plus, VTX minus, and then TX1. Fan-fucking-tastic. So let's come at it from this angle. And what's first? VTX signal? Okay. So we're going yellow first. Come on. Come on, you little jerk. There we go. Oh, farts. Patchy Smoke Wounded Server's going to fly. Blizzard FPV with a $1.11 Canadian. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Alright, we are fluxed. We're going yellow first. Okay. And then what's next? VTX positive. Blizzard FPV with a 222 super chat. Thank you, brother. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. So next up we've got red. Oh god, why is this so short? The fuck? We'll be fine. Alright, and we got ground next. And this is now going to go on the TX1 pad. This is the smart audio wire. The flight controller is transmitting, thus the T pad. The flight controller is transmitting the settings that you want the VTX to change to. So it gets put on a T pad on the flight controller. Okay, so the last few are the camera stuff, and I used the through holes for these, so this is just going to take... Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Alright, there's power, and there's video. So, yeah, this flight controller, unfortunately, is bad. I'm going to put a little red X over the gyro on this to signify that the gyro is bad. And then, yeah, if anybody with a hot air station wants to fix this, like Tiago Ramos, I can send it to you. Hey, Blizzard FPV with a 333 super chat. He says BQE carbon fun. Thank you, brother. No One FPV with a $5 super chat. He says, hey, man, I got a jet. A lot of work to do. Come morning. Have a great night. Keep it lofty. Thank you, brother. Thanks for hanging. No One. That's for the PS3 fun. PS3. 180 goes to 185. Thank you, No One. Very cool of you. Okay, so this is going to be powering the RunCam hybrid board. Usually I power the RunCam hybrid from an external 5-volt regulator, but on this build, I wanted to see how it would go powering it from the flight controller, and it went fine. The 5-volt back didn't blow up. The fucking everything else did. So, I also need to check the pinout on the ESC connector. I could do that real quick here. So on the side of the flight controller with the LED pad, which is my left. Okay, so next to the LED pad, hopefully it's ground. Nope, it's VBAT. Are you fucking kidding me? Heli Nation, you... Come on. Really? Ugh. Really? You're gonna do me like that? God damn it. I just keep looking, expecting it to, like, change. Just keep looking at the wiring diagram, like, oh, maybe it's not actually that. I gotta repin this. Let me solder on the camera wires first. It is 11:59. Look at that. Camera connector is gonna go in the back here. The ground wire is gonna hook up on the front. Let's do that first. We'll do the ground wire first, and then we'll run it back here. So one of the best ways to prevent noise on an analog rig is to put the camera ground and the VTx ground on the same exact pad, which is a little bit of a challenging job soldering wise, but it's totally doable. Make sure you get some flux on the pad, and it's all about like setup. It's all about getting the wire perfectly positioned, getting your tweezers perfectly positioned, so that when you come in with the tip of the soldering iron, you don't have to move the pad around. You don't have to like do anything weird. You just have to bring the heat in. So if it takes you 5 minutes to sit here and get your tweezers like absolutely perfect, that's okay. Because that's kind of all that matters to sort of get it right. So use a little loop. Get it just right. And then just come in with heat and just touch it. And you'll be all set. I think, and the more times you do it, the better you'll get at it. Go figure. But yeah, it's all about the setup. That's most of soldering. Soldering is not this like magical fucking thing that like, you know, you can take the tip of your soldering iron and make baby unicorns come out of manatees' assholes. It's mainly about just being patient, getting shit in the right spot, and then just using the tip of the soldering iron to bring heat in, rather than using it to like move wires around. Or it's not magic. It's actually fairly kind of boring in a weird way. So this wire is like kind of bent up, and it's just not gonna help the situation at all. This should be much better. Okay, that should be much, much, much better. So let's grab it with these really fine tip tweezers. We're gonna get it back into position, and hopefully we can get it on the first shot. Problem with double soldering to the same pad is there's a pretty good chance that the wire that's already on is going to want to come off. So that's why you got to spend a little time here. You fuck. Just getting it exactly right. Let me try to do it with the more blunt tweezers. What I'm going to try to do is just hold the wire, both of the wires down. And then hopefully, I also want to keep this kind of flat. Oop, that's it, that's it, that's it. It's there, it's there, it's there. Nobody breathe. Nobody breathe. Fuck! The soldering iron came down to 360 degrees. God damn it. Don't breathe. Check it. That's it. That should be fine. Alright, here we go. Coming in. Hang on. That looks kind of ugly. I don't really know what the hell is happening in there. It's on, but I'm not super happy with it. I'll put a little bit more flux and just rework it real quick. I also kind of rushed the soldering iron. It wasn't all the way up to temperature. This should be better. That looks a lot smoother and a lot shinier. That's the one. There we go. All right, fantastic. And then so this is gonna get hooked up in the back here because we got camera signal, and then I want 5 volt. So that's gonna be 5 volt all the way on the side, skip ground, and then camera signal. Okay, cool. So I'm actually gonna cut these guys down because I'm sort of running out of space here. I wish I hadn't twisted these up quite as much as I did. That was why the red cable was a little too short. Oh man, I might have problems with this. Fuck, I hope I don't. What was the spacer setup? I had 3mm spacers. Oh shit, this is a lot of wires running on top of each other. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be okay. I'm going to cut these guys down a little bit. Just to try to clean this up. This is a fairly crowded build. But we'll get it. We'll get it. We will prevail. There's a quote from a movie. Reason will prevail. It's not from a movie. It's from a TV show. Might be from Frasier. Reason will prevail. I think that's the line. I keep saying it over and over and over again. Might be a movie. I forget. Alright, let's tin these two guys since I shortened them. Alright, cool. When you're with the man, higher KV, you will get grandfathered down. What? Fixing baby hex, 5500 kV motors on it. Pretty sure one of the motors is gone. But I only have an 11,500 spare motor. You can use the bell, but I would not want to use that stator. That is too big of a difference. 11,500 to 5,500, that's too big of a difference. The PID loop will handle it. The PID loop will absolutely handle it. But there's a chance that you're going to lose some resolution there. You don't want to have it limit down beyond like 65 to 70 to 60%. When you do, you're kind of you're just asking for issues. But maybe you can, hopefully it's just the bell that you wrecked on the 5500 and you can just swap the bells over and there you go. But I would not use a 5500 kV stator, 3 5500 kV stators and one 11,500. That's a bit much. Cam plus, skip, and then cam signal. Here we go. Last little ding dong here. See if I can not melt this wire. Alright, we're fluxed. I have to start wearing glasses to do this shit. Jesus Christ. Why is there so little solder on there? What's happening? What's happening? No. Don't fucking bridge, you little assholes. What are you doing? Don't be like that. Alright, we got that. We're gonna skip, and then we got cam signal. That looks alright. Not the best job I've ever done, but certainly not the worst. Oh no, that's actually fucking gorgeous. Okay. It's catching the light in a weird way. We're good. So we're all soldered up. I'm going to leave it there with you guys and shut this fucker down. And just go relax, try to get some actual sleep tonight. I'm not in the mood to repin this effing ESC to flight controller cable. That's just annoying. I'll do that tomorrow during the day at some point. I'm going to try to do some building tomorrow. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys Wednesday night, but if not, if the gig goes really long, then yeah, you might not see me until Friday. But I don't know where I'll be Friday. I don't know if I'll be here or I'll probably be at Maggie's. But yeah, I'll see you guys maybe Wednesday, if not Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna try to do a Gran Turismo 7 stream. I know I keep saying that, but I'll try to do one tomorrow. Great Southern with the last comment of the night. Flywood Baby Hex, can't see any burn strands on the motor, but it's stalling when you spin it by hand and doesn't feel like anything's rubbing. Swap the bell. Swapping the bell will probably fix it. All right, guys, be good. Thanks for hanging out. Here comes some rando flying. And I'll catch you either Wednesday or Friday. And yeah, I hope you have an awesome week. This is the Stables, one of my favorite local spots here. You guys, some epidemic sounds going. All right, there it is. Be good, friends. Later. Bye.